Bits of hand, dead skin. Okay. That's gross and educational. So this is the Zombie Loam deck. There's a few leagues with this one on my website. This deck's really sweet. We played it a few times in the past. It's a little bit medium against Graveyard Hate, but when we get the engine going, it's super powerful. You'll see here we've got Squee, Goblin Nabob paired with Faithless Looting here, which is good powerful synergy. Yeah, the BCW sleeves have not grimed up in the same way I experienced with the Dragon Shield ones. Alright, that's a Conflagrate. Probably just casting Faithless Looting here on one. We don't have a second red for the Conflagrate yet, which kind of sucks. Do we have Brutalities in the main deck of this? I do not. Burn's probably a tough matchup for us. We got a couple of Brownscales in the board that could maybe help. No, if I'm ever holding anything card-like in your hand, I have to sit here and do this. This is a tactical thing. If you are a competitive Magic player, it is to your advantage to get used to shuffling the cards in your hand. And the reason for that is it gives your opponent less information about when you've drawn the cards that are in your hand. Maybe I should have ditched this to kill this. Yeah, maybe I should have ditched the Conflagrate there. How are the cheaper sets? I'll probably be buying them because I like the pack sizes better for EDH. They're still relatively durable. They're definitely slightly lower grade than their Elite Guard sleeves, but like Christy and I had actually been putting all of our standard size board game card sleeves in those BCW sleeves before that because they're just a really good price point. They're like $2.50 for 50, which is super cheap. I can't remember exactly. They were $2 or $3 for 50. I think we're dead, fam. I think we're dead. I'm going to dredge this, trying to hit another Conflagrate. I should have just discarded the other one. That's a good hit. We hit Lingering Souls. Is there a second Blood Crypt in my deck? There are 2 Blood Crypts. So down a Fetch Shock, Blood Crypt, Flashback Souls. I think so here. Because then I can discard this Conflagrate to hand size. And then flash it back next turn. Gotta go down to 10 here. We're gonna go down to 8 from this Goblin Guide attack. How do I think Burn is positioned currently? I think if you have Ensnaring Bridges, it's like okay. But I don't think Burn is in such a good spot that if you don't love playing Burn, I really don't think you should play it. I think a lot of the other aggressive decks like Humans and Hollowed One just put such large creatures into play so quickly, and they push out damage so consistently that they just kind of outclass what Burn's able to do. You think I should double chump? You think I should just double chump here? I guess I have plenty of things I don't mind discarding. Yeah, I guess it's better to just, like, is it worth spending 2 cards to gain 2 health? Yeah, it probably is at this point, right? Like, I'm going to have Loam to get value going too. Well, I mean, Conflagrate kills their stuff, but it does cost me cards. Like, it's not completely free. But yeah, it's probably better to stay at 10 here. You're right. I'm going to go ahead and put this Overgrown Tomb into play, tapped, and then we're going to go ahead and Flashback Conflag. Excuse me, ditching 4 cards. Gonna ditch Darkblast. Actually gonna ditch this, and the Darkblast. No, I'm gonna ditch the Loam. Hold the Darkblast for now. Could potentially do the Darkblast trick to kill a 2 toughness thing next turn. Speaking of BCW, their ad looks really good, by the way, too. Their banner, I like the black. Looks really slick. What you eating? I got some corn chowder soup from, what's it called? Panera Bread. We've yet to dredge into a Bloodghast, which is kind of our way to put a lot of power into play. Still no Bloodghast. That's unfortunate. Yeah, they've been missing land drops, which is the only reason we're in this game at all. So like, they have a lot of tools left over here. This is weird dredge. Yeah, this is kind of like value mid-rangey dredge, basically. These sleeves, right here. You even get 10% off. I have Brownscale. Lightning Axe is okay. I think Darkblast isn't good enough. Raven's Crime's probably fine. We can get that going some of the time. Stinkweed Imp's probably too slow. Start to finish is probably too slow. Murderous Cut's probably too slow. Let's do it. Yeah, we've got a chat command. Yeah, Vengeful Pharaoh is great in a deck like this. Huh. It's gonna be like okay with a second land, but without it, it's just not good enough. This seems fine. We're gonna fetch shock that away anyways. Go ahead and grab Blood Crypt here. Cast Faithless Looting. I don't think I can afford to fetch basics this game. See what we draw. Maybe our next land will get a basic. And ditch the Conflag. The Holy Helix Fossil with the 13-month resub. Congrats on the 2K sub points. Proud to be a member of the Hooglandia army. Thank you for the over a year support there, Holy Helix. I really appreciate that. Seth Boniface, thank you for the brand new Twitch Prime support. Welcome, welcome. Praise be the Helix. Get my Naboo back. Really kind of like a green fetch. A little bit late. Wish we could have ditched that last turn. Yeah, I just need a red source, right? I can't not have, I need a green source, and I want a red source to flashback this Conflagrate. I think we just have to, like, get Stomping Ground here and just, like, not be excited about it, but this is what we're doing with ourselves. I guess I kind of want to hit them here, too. I kind of want to discard the Loam here, too. So I'm going to send one at their face. And then ditch, this, and this. Oh, I guess I actually want to send two at their face, right? I only want to keep the Ravenscrime in my hand. I don't know, Dumbledoreko. Against, I think something like Westvale Abbey in a deck like this is basically trying to win more. In the matches where you're going to eventually be able to set up Westvale Abbey, if you're living to a point where you can set up Westvale Abbey activations, you're probably just winning that match anyways. So, like, why are you playing this kind of medium card, except when you're already winning? I think that's something players that play mid-range decks like this do incorrectly a lot of the time, is they, like, take their deck that's, like, already kind of mopey and clunky and, like, lean into being more mopey and more clunky. Maybe this Ravenscrime and this Loam can grind them out. Yeah, I'm aware of that, Austin. Actually, it's funny. A lot of people aren't aware that matte and gloss describe the front of the sleeve. Like, and actually, that was something that came up a lot when I was playing Open Series events. Is I'd be playing against someone and they'd be like, they'd play their card for the turn and I'd pick it up and go, this card's in a different sleeve than the rest of the cards you've played this game. And they go, no, and they'd flip them over and I go, no, look at the front of the sleeve. This is a gloss sleeve and the rest of your cards you've played are in matte sleeves. And they'd be like, oh. I was like, all right, let's call a judge and make sure that this isn't a pattern. Westvale Abbey can be relevant in this match. In order for Westvale Abbey to be relevant, we have to have 6 lands in play. Dude, that's like so many lands against burn. That's a lot of lands. That's like another thing, and this was really common. This was really common when shock lands were legal in standard. So if they reprint shock lands, this could become relevant again. Something that players messed up a lot was when they were sharing shock lands between their modern and standard deck. And Snapcaster Mage 2 is they would move those cards back and forth, but not be perfect fitting their standard deck. And they'd like have just a few cards in their standard deck that were perfect fitted. You'd be like, well, this isn't okay. Like, your shock lands and whatnot are marked here. All right, let's see if our Mopey Ravenscrime plan can be good enough here. They have 4 cards in their hand. They can probably only cast 2 of them. So we're gonna get 2 cards out of their hand here. And to be fair, a lot of these people weren't angle shooting and they didn't do it intentionally. They were just clueless. You know, to like, you know, to quote a great quote, never assume malice for anything that could be adequately explained by stupidity. Like, a lot of these people weren't trying to gain an edge. They were just careless and not paying attention, but it's still important to bring that up to a tournament official to log it. So if once they are made aware, if it keeps happening in the future, then they could be trying to gain abuse. But a lot of the time, I think they were just clueless. Well, hope you're ready to run the distance, Squee. Team Hogland really needs you in this one. I don't have a blue source in my deck, right? I do not have a blue source, so that is a dead draw. 2k bits if you get a kill with Squee. Deal. We're gonna try our best. I actually got a warning during the courtesy deck check for an open top 8 one time because I had sleeved my deck with 2 different boxes of Dragon Shield sleeves. Like, Dragon Shield sleeves come in boxes of 100. So, like, you know, I'd buy 2 boxes and sleeve, you know, I'd buy like 3 boxes and sleeve like 4 decks in them. Well, my deck had been sleeved with sleeves from 2 different Dragon Shield boxes, which meant that the printings or the runs of those sleeves or whatever were slightly different colors of blue. And the judge called me up to the deck. They're like, you have 2 different color sleeves on your deck. I was like, what? And they flipped them over, and sure enough, there were 2 slightly different colored blues on the sleeves of my deck. And thankfully, my deck was shuffled when I sleeved it, so like there wasn't a pattern. It was just a, hey, these are potentially marked, you're getting a warning for this, but because there wasn't a pattern, it wasn't a game loss. Because it was obviously unintentional. If I was trying to cheat with 2 different colors, I would have marked them in some way, you know. Just wanted to pop in and say congrats. And say thanks for the couple of years of stream. Super happy to see you at the 2K sub mark. I remember old days of Alt Nahiri Hornet Queen's lines through the Hex days to you going full time. Thanks, Trax. I really appreciate it. Thanks for being around through all of it. Hopefully we'll be here for a while yet still. How many points until the next emote? 134 Anoronics. We currently have 2066 out of 2200 sub points. This hand doesn't do anything. I'm gonna mulligan. Fun fact, I believe, I am fairly certain if I do ever manage to hit 2200, that would put me at the most emotes that a dedicated Magic only streamer has ever achieved on Twitch. We'll see. We'll see. That's a lot. That's a lot. And even my number right now is pretty high because there's currently a sub gift thing going on. So I wouldn't be surprised if my number, like, by this time next month dips back down around to 1900 or so. But we're here. It's a big number. We can hang out and enjoy it. What's the closest to getting a DQ? What's the closest you have been to getting a DQ at a Magic event? No, I've never been close to getting disqualified. I got a game loss in an open top 8 one time because my sideboard cards didn't have as much wear on the sleeves as the main deck cards after playing 15 matches. And the judge messed up and gave me a game loss for that instead of a warning like it was supposed to be and telling me to re-sleeve. Cookie Lord with the generous sub gift. Thank you. Sub gifts, you say. My opponent mulliganed to 4, and we mulliganed to 5. Hey, Saints Walk the Earth. We just finished that league. More sub points. Thank you, Aruki, for the 6 months. I appreciate that. Welcome back. Really wanted to draw. When I saw a red card there, I was like, ooh, Faithless Looting? Looting would be quite as absurd here. Anoronics. Giving out all the toys. He's the best. He's the best. They announced $1 sub month September at PAX. Okay. How does that work? Like, does the streamer still get the same amount of money as a normal sub, or I don't know. Twitch is absurd to us. So I'm gonna get a Stomping Ground here because I want to be able to cast both Faithless Looting and Life from the Loam. Streamer still gets the same amount. I honestly can't believe that anybody streams on any platforms other than Twitch. It's like throwing money away between the Prime subs and stuff like that. We're talking about sandwiches. If you gift a sub, you spend $5 to give someone a sub, and then you, as a person, could re-up your personal sub for $1. That's interesting. I think we might die to Thraben Inspector. You can get naked on other platforms, be reasonable. It's funny because it's sad. Oh, did the Grand Prix just wrap up? All right, so do I want to Ghost Quarter myself here? I think I do, right? I think I want to just like go get my basic swamp and cast this cast the Stinkweed Imp. You can get naked on Twitch too, but only once. And to all the new folks that Anoronics Fairy just generously sent out subs to, be sure you pop into the subs Discord too. Lots of great conversations and stuff going on in there. Apoon, thank you for the 3-month resub there. Welcome, welcome, welcome back. I hate everything about everything. That JJ. What was that, Jeff, about setting a sub goal for getting naked? Get out of here. Thank you for the 3/4 of a year. And Von Snickety, thanks for re-upping for the 2nd month in a row. I'm all alone. There's no one here beside me. Do 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 do. Is Overwatch still happening? So, Christy is going to be doing Overwatch on her channel, but I am not going to be signing off to join in, it doesn't look like. We had a whole bunch of people bump in a whole bunch of Cut the Line donations, so I'm going to be working overtime today. Overtime, I'm going to be working more than just the 12 hours originally scheduled. Well, I hit another land. Christy's always okay with dollar reduce. She understands that this is work. Understands this. So welcome to folks coming over from the Grand Prix. We're currently in hour 8 of what's likely going to be 15, 16 hours of stream today, so we're halfway in. Got a bunch of sweet modern decks lined up. We're currently playing a Zombie Loam variation. Got Necrotic Ooze combo, Blue-Black Mill, Cocoa Walls, and more coming up. Still going for Amulet Titan. Potentially. I have a cutoff of when MTGO Trader stops filling orders later tonight of when I need to be done streaming. Because obviously I won't be able to get cards. That's a Thalia. So I'm going to go ahead and Murderous Cut in response to this Thalia. Because otherwise I have to delve an extra card out of my bin. I really don't want to delve that much out if I can avoid it. Because my lands in my graveyard are valuable later. For Life from the Loans and stuff like that. If they attack here, I'm going to snap off this block. Yeah, I know. Reed has hair. I'm very jealous. Alright, so let's pay for this. And then make red mana here. Alright, so I think I want to just pay to discard this Conflagrate, right? Pretty confident I just want to pay to discard this Conflagrate. You can choose 0 targets for Conflagrate to just, like, discard it. And then next turn we can flash it back and kill basically their whole board. Oh, that's brutal. It was a good moment for them to hit their land drop. When's Bamonte coming? You should ping Bamonte in Discord if you want him. If you want him to come hang out tonight. Yeah, the Stream Decker extension is fantastic. Really, really good. I guess Stinkweed Imp checks the Thought-Knot Seer nicely. Why are you attacking with this? It's because, like, you don't want me to eat here? I would love to block here. So I get to devour these 3. And I think I don't really need a second green source here, I don't think. Just gonna clean their whole board out. And we're just like waiting on a Loam at this point, basically. Getting our entire hand empty is good too if they have a follow-up Thought-Knot Seer as well. This is a weird game. We mulligan to 5, opponent mulligan to 4. It's like both playing with very little resources to start. They got their engine kind of going a little bit faster than we did. They're hitting Leon and Arbiter on like turn 5 in order to do stuff was good for them. Can you attack me, please? I would love it if you'd attack me, please. Get to grab my Nabubi back here. Probably just put him into play as a chump blocker, honestly. Another uncastable amalgam, just like we drew it up. Just like we drew it up. Flicker Wisp. That's brutal. Probably gonna blink the Stinkweed and then smash me. Squee is quite the excellent chump blocker. What's the purpose of Squee in this deck? So this isn't traditional Dredge. There's a deck list on your screen. If you're on mobile, you can type !deck in chat to get a link to the deck list. This is more of a mid-range or control deck. It has some similar elements to Dredge, but it is not exactly the same archetype. So Loam's kind of awkward here because if I fetch, I'm down to 4. I also don't have any basics left in my deck, right? I think I just have to play this and like hope they have nothing. I think we just stumbled and fumbled a little bit too long. Drawing both of our ghost quarters early hurt our colors too much. The fact that I had to like ghost quarter myself to cast the Stinkweed Imp put us too far behind when they hit the Leon and Arbiter. Yeah, it's gonna be lights out. I'm gonna go put a Hoogle mat on the Discord. Yeah, it's more of a graveyard value deck than anything. Darkblast seems pretty good here. Raven's Crime seems kind of medium. Their deck's a deck that likely empties its hand pretty quickly. Golgari Charm is decent. There's also a non-zero chance of bringing in like Rest in Peace out of the sideboard. What do I want to trim? It's possible that some mix of Amalgams and Bloodghast are good to cut here. Not only are they likely bringing in Graveyard Hate, but like these don't really make super relevant attackers. Yeah, Pharaoh's probably fine. I could see Pharaoh going either way. Just go down to this. Hello, youngest son. Mom will get you green water. You should go upstairs.
It's not green water up there.
Oh, the green water's right there.
Where's it?
Over here. You see on the table?
Huh?
You see the green water? Okay, bring it up to Mom. Noah the Band Kid, thank you very much for the brand new tier 1 sub. I appreciate that. Welcome. Cutting too much of the dredge. Well, I didn't really cut any dredgers, right? I just cut some of our graveyard-based things. What is green water? Declan refers to every style of drink possible to water and then the color of it. Except for milk. He knows milk is different. But like, green Gatorade is green water. Yeah, Anoronics was lying about your decks being played, Nivik. Everything we have on the docket is cut the line. So we're working our way down. We've got Loam, then Necrotic Ooze, then Mill, then Cocoa Walls. So you are Cocoa Walls in the one after, right? So we've got this, and then 2 more, and then Walls in your other one. How much to get me to play my own build of Kiki Court tonight? I don't think I'm gonna have time for that. Normally I do that for $50 to build a deck and add it to the queue. If you want it played right away, you have to beat whatever the current deck at the top of the queue is. But we're thoroughly backed up this evening in the most wonderful way. They must have gotten pulled out, Nivik. Yeah, I think this is fine. We have Infestation on the play here, which is pretty good. And that green water is a lie. Well, you see, Declan. He's really funny, too. He even thinks an important part of making it green water is that we have to put water in it from the fridge. And then we add a little bit of green to the top. Just need a loam for this hand to be great. Probably prioritize fetching non-basics here because there are Ghost Quarter Path to Exile decks. We want to leave as many of our basic lands as possible in our deck to maximize our ability to... what's the word I'm searching for? Maxing our abilities to find those with their search effects. Now, he's okay with blue and red too, usually. Likes a variety of different colored waters. So I could maybe have Faithless Looting down 1, but I really didn't have anything that I really wanted to discard. Getting my tap land into play was valuable, I think. I am going to go ahead and looting now. Really just kind of looking for a loam at this point. Going to bin Darkblast and Conflagrate. Play Godless Shrine tapped and pass here. My opponent has Thought Knot Seer next turn. I get to Lightning Axe, discarding Faithless Looting in response to its trigger, and deny them taking any spells away from me. I think that Dragon Skull Summit is an okay budget replacement for me. And I mean, it's fine a budget replacement. It's gonna lose you some games because that deck plays a ton of 1-mana spells. And honestly, I'd probably max out on Blood Crypts and more fetches before I play Dragon Skull Summit. I definitely wouldn't play 4 Dragon Skull Summits. That is too many. Ooh, we have a Darkblast in our bin. That's exciting. I'd like to dredge my Darkblast, please. I'd like to Darkblast you. Yeah, that seems pretty reasonable for us, Kitty. Two Dragon Skulls seems okay. So I'm actually going to flashback looting here out of my bin, and the reason why I'm flashing it back rather than playing it from my hand is because this nets me kind of virtual card advantage, so I'm playing a spell from the discard pile. Alright, we've still not found a Loam. We did, however, find a copy of Start Finish, and we found a Squee Goblin to boob for next turn, which is nice. So they either just drew this for the turn, or they knew about the Lightning Axe and played around it. So start finish is going to nip this little guy right in the bud, which is nice for us. Oh man, I'm going to get wasted. I'm going to get wasted, chat. This is probably just dredge Stinkweed Imp and cast it. Again, real shame that we just don't have a Loam in here. I'm going to play Stinky out here, and I'm actually going to hold the land in my hand, because if my opponent plays another Thought-Knot Seer, I want to discard the Squee to Goblin Infestation, or Zombie Infestation, so that way I don't lose it to... I don't lose it to a Thought-Knot Seer exile trigger. Nope, you're all good to go, chick. Would like to make a Zomboy. This is my Zomboy. My Zomboy is amazing. Ooh. And now we get a free Zomboy every turn, speaking of. So we've got our Naboobies here bouncing back and forth. Dredge this Darkblast. Still no Loam, huh? Man, that's rough. Alright, so let's cast Faithless Looting here, I suppose. Okay. Alright, there's the Loam. Ditch Loam and a Squee. This way, if they play another discard effect, I can cast Darkblast and discard my souls and my Squee to get my hand empty again so they can't exile anything from it. Ooh, we've milled past our swamp and our forest at this point, so they can actually... Oh, that's really bad for us. If they ghost quarter our forest, yeah, that's... This is, Well, we've been caught with our hand in the cookie jar. So we do, however, get to bring these back, and I do have Faithless Lootings left in my bin, so I get to Faithless Looting and basically just like straight up draw 2 cards, right? So we're looking for a green source at this point. Are there green sources left in my deck to fetch? Valid question. There are not green sources left in my deck to fetch. Do we have any green producing lands? We actually have 0 green producing lands in our deck. Well, all right. This game just got a lot harder. Yeah, either a genius or ghosting, one of the two. And it's definitely the case. We have Lingering Souls here. We have a start finish in the bin. We have the Zombie Infestation with the Squeeze. We're not just dead to rights here. We have like a better value engine going than they can probably put up with. And the issue is that like we didn't find a Life from the Loam until we were over halfway into our deck. Like, if we'd have found a Life from the Loam earlier, we could have prioritized, like, getting a second green source going, but because we got through half our deck before we found a green source, we just happened to mill all of our other green sources before we got to a Loam. Hey, Demir, don't watch live often, but keeping you going on YouTube just about 24/7 in my house. Thanks for the content. Awesome. Well, I appreciate the 2 months of support. Welcome back there. Thanks for re-upping. Glad you enjoy the YouTube stuff. Well, there are 2 more Naboobies in my deck, right? So, like, continuing to dredge potentially, like, finds me more Squeeze to, like, be putting into play. Yeah, we can, like, mill 4 Squeeze, seriously. Flicker Wisp, sure. We're gonna, like, blink a token here, just, like, kill a spirit. That doesn't really accomplish anything. I'm gonna make a zombie. So, I'm just gonna go ahead and dredge. Gonna go ahead and dredge the Stinkweed Imp again here. Just get to cast that this turn. Also gives us 5 looks at another Squee. Which we did find a 3rd Squee. So that's nice. Let's go ahead and cast this, because it keeps the Thought-Knot Seer at bay. A Stinkweed a day keeps the Thought-Knot Seer away. Happy to just get racing here. Yeah, Surveil seems sweet. I saw some people calling it bad Scry. It's, like, arguably better than Scry, right? Like, most decks in Magic abuse the graveyard, at least in some small way. So, like, getting to put a card you don't want there to potentially be a resource later is valuable. Yeah, Stinkweed Imp basically being a recurable removal spell. Like, this is what WotC envisioned when they printed this card, right? Just, like, this recurable removal spell that was annoying for people. These are my Naboobies. There are many like them, but these ones are mine. Darkblast. I put a Vengeful Pharaoh in the bin. That's exciting. All right, so I'm going to go 2, 1, 2 here. Bye, Squeeze. We'll flashback Lingering Souls here. And I think despite getting cut off of, you know, one of our colors here due to an unfortunate Ghost Card, we're actually going to grind through this game here. I feel like 1 mana blue, like Surveil 1 draw card is probably an okay 2. Surveil 2 draw card from it is more powerful than Preordain and will not be printed. Yeah, that's better than Preordain. Oh, geez, they ripped TKS? This lets them take my Darkblast away. Maybe that was a mistake. Maybe I should have just done the full 4. Maybe I probably should have just done the full 4 there. We actually have them dead next turn, though, right? I attack them for 5 in the air. I bring back 3 Squeeze, and I draw a card, and then I hit them for 4 with a Conflagrate. Seems pretty good. Almost forgot I had a sandwich in my Panera as well in addition to soup. I'm gonna chow this really quick while we kill them and start the next game. I guess I have to click a bunch here, so let's just kill them first. They drew Ratchet Bomb while I wasn't paying attention. That's really unfortunate. It's a good pickup. Oh, I should have done this. I should have done this when they did the Ratchet Bomb. That was a mistake. How many Conflagrates do I have left in here? Just 1? Yeah, I should have ditched a zombie just to cast start finish. Or cast finish. I have 2 Conflagrates in here. So I can actually just like kill them over the course of the next 2 turns, right? Whoa, why on God's green earth did they just take that? Why Why would they take that? I don't understand, but I accept. All right, so they're dead next turn. All right. Do I want some amount of grudges? Probably not. It's called their Mediterranean veggie sandwich. I don't eat meat. I'm a non-meat eater. I've been a vegetarian for a little over a decade. It's not from Portillo's, it's from Panera. This may or may not be a keep. Conflagrate's okay. Darkblast is decent. If they have a fast Thought-Knot Seer, Lingering Souls could get exiled, which could be detrimental to it. Chopper's pretty good. Especially alongside the 3-bit Inspector here. Kinda wishing I brought an Ancient Grudge now, huh? Yeah, Portillo's is good stuff. Turn do the old Darkblast trick this next turn. You can use Darkblast to kill things that have 2 toughness. We will Darkblast this during the upkeep, and then dredge the Darkblast, then Darkblast it again. It technically costs us 2 cards to do so, but it'll get us our Zombie Infestation back. A Smuggler's Copter is actually really annoying. It's going to give them a lot of card selection and beat us down pretty quickly in the air. I don't think I have quite enough cards to warrant conflagrating this. We drew a Loam. That's really good for us. I'm going to be a little bit aggressive with my health total here. And fetch Shock to not get cut off of colors. Although I guess maybe I should have gotten Blood Crypt there, since I have this in my hand that I need a second red for Conflagrate. Yeah, I probably should have gotten Blood Crypt there. I think not getting Blood Crypt there was a mistake. How does this deck beat Leyline? We have 2 copies of Maelstrom Pulse and a Golgari Charm that can take Leyline off the table. Or Rest in Peace and stuff like that. There's a deck list on your screen via the Stream Decker widget. If you're on mobile or don't have access to it for some reason, you can type ! Deck in chat to get a link to the deck list. Evening, Peter. Oh, I guess I get to dredge Stinkweed Imp next turn if I want. I can dredge Stinkweed Imp, play Verdant Catacombs, fetch a Blood Crypt with it, and then cast Stinkweed Imp, and Stinkweed Imp can trade with the Smuggler's Copter. That puts us in a pretty okay spot, depending on like what their leftovers are. We're going down to 8 here. Ooh, we're going down to... I think I just want to eat this, right? Is it worth giving up my Verdant to eat this? I think it is. Just like not take that damage and I get another 2/2 into play that I could potentially race with. Like 2/2/2s keep the Thalia at home with 2, which is nice. They bend a path. That probably means they have another path. I definitely should have gotten a second red with this fetch, I think. Who's bought a mattress? I have at least a mattress, and at least 6 of my subscribers do. They let me know when my referral code gets used. This doesn't look like Amulet's in. We had a lot of people take me up on my challenge thump of I will keep streaming until we run out of Cut the Line. So we had this is like our 3rd Cut the Line, and I've got like 4 more lined up after this. 5 more lined up after this. It's gonna be a long one. We're probably gonna do more than 12 here. We've been going for 9, and I'm gonna do 4 or 5 more decks here. Do they have another path? Okay, so this is probably Blinking Stinky. If they blink Stinky, they can smash us for getting super aggressive here. Probably dredge. So do I want to dredge Darkblast next turn, or do I want to cast Lingering Souls? I can see that going either way. We're trading Thalia for... Huh. That's interesting. Alright. I think I'm dredging Darkblast here. How do I cut the line? So generally, if a deck gets to 100 points, it gets cut into the next deck in the queue. But because we had people that all wanted to let me know that they were serious about getting me to stream for more than 12 today, currently everything that's listed in the queue has had that 100 points applied to it. So today, it's not going to get you a whole lot of anything. Oh, cancel. I can flash I forgot to tell you instead. I was like, why did I need to pay 2? You get to flashback souls here as well, which is great for us. You think Wizards ever has any intention of lowering the price point to Modern? Maybe slightly, but it's in Wizards thinks it's in their best interest to keep Modern expensive. I feel like Wizards' actions indicate that they feel making Modern expensive is easier than making Standard playable. That's what it feels like to me as a player. Is there a way to see the queue on mobile? Yep. That link will give you Prime subscriptions do not auto-renew. This is actually okay for us, as long as there's a mountain. Sweet. Yeah, I have my basic mountain in the deck. Like, I'm kind of shy on a land tier. Let's see if they have, do they have another creature to put into play to crew the copter? Probably do. Their deck is full of, like, little poopers. Not too surprised they had the second path to exile there. No, they don't want starter decks for Modern. They don't. Wizards of the Coast want you to play Standard. They want you to draft. They want you to be a repeat customer. Standard does not generate repeat customers for Wizards of the Coast. What was my favorite Standard era? I really liked when Temur Flash was a deck during Innistrad RTR Standard. That's true. That's true. Making the secondary market viable. For the record, people that are smart business people and good vendors, they don't want Modern to be super expensive. Vendors make money on what's called the churn. They make money by moving lots of product. Like, vendors don't want to sit on a bunch of stock that they can't sell. Vendors want a bunch of liquid product that people want to buy because they want to be selling stuff again and again and again. I don't know that they're going to necessarily time out. If they're kind of getting close. Good rule of thumb on this channel is that my opponents are always significantly down on time compared to me. I play Magic very quickly, and most people play Magic very slowly, which is attested to by the fact if you pay attention to the recent drama about Hall of Fame stuff and people stalling. All right, well, that's unfortunate. We missed on drawing relevant things here. I was hoping to turn lands into decent cards. I guess I'm going to hold the Zombie Infestation for now, just because if they kill this, I'd like another. I have a much better understanding of the UI. Yeah, maybe. I mean, like, I feel like even when I was starting playing Magic Online, like, and you can't even just be because you say I stream, because, like, you watch plenty of other streamers, and they have tons of time down on the clock compared to other people. I just use the hotkeys efficiently. Too many people are, like, reaching to click their OK buttons too often. Like, do you ever see me, like, reach over there and press the OK? Almost never. Like, press your hotkey to go through. Get that efficiency. Every time you touch the mouse while using the computer, you lose efficiency. And I think it's beneficial for me to chump block with my spirit here before I have to chump block. Generally speaking, you don't want to be chump blocking the turn you're dead because that gives them a chance to draw a removal spell. And, like, I almost boarded in Ancient Grudge for this game too, and, like, really sad that I didn't now. Alright, so we're going to put another zombie into play here. We might be able to race this. I still haven't hit a second copy of... Oh, I have a Squee now as well. This is actually really good for us because Squee means when I dredge this Loam and cast Loam, I'm going to go up to 4 cards in my hand. And we hit Lingering Souls. Yeah! Alright, sweet. We're cooking with gas now. To go ahead and pick all of these up. So I get to make 2 zombies and put 2 blockers into play this turn. Hitting the other Lingering Souls here probably locks this up for us. Or it at least, like, forces them to, like, put the Smuggler's Copter on defense, which means it forces them into a defensive spot. And our deck kind of has more inevitability than theirs does, because our kind of grindy engine is very powerful compared to what they're doing. Does MTGO support extra mouse buttons? I believe so. I believe it can do any keyboard or mouse button. Techniques Icon and Nameless Inversion. That's a different deck. We've played Abzan Loam on stream a number of times with Icon and Nameless Inversion. Sweet combo, but a little bit different than what this is doing. Another great way to generate value from your discard pile. Could you ever imagine if I was eligible for the Magic Hall of Fame, how many people would complain about having been timed out on this channel? I can't even fathom how many it would be. I think this deck's a lot of fun, and the cards that have dollar amounts, gosh. Oh, why do you always draw Ratchet Bomb the turn you need to? Alright, well, now we're not making zombies, I guess. That is really unfortunate. Super Floopus Derp, thank you very much for the brand new sub there. I do appreciate that. Welcome. I'm going to dredge the Loam here. Alright, I have a start finish here in my hand. I'm just gonna go ahead and attack for 5 here, because depending on if they don't blow the Ratchet Bomb up again here, I could just kill them with Conflagrate. There's a deck list on your screen. If you're on mobile, you can type !deck in chat to get a link to the deck list. And they're dead. Right? Yep. We loam up to 7 and then kill them with Conflagrate. One, two, three, four, 5, 6, 7. I think, alright, yeah. Sweet. Alright, 1 and 1. 1 and 1, slow and steady. Or waiting for the next match in this league to pop. I'd just like to thank everyone for hanging out. Welcome. My name's Jeff Hogan. I'm a full-time stream, meme, magic producing content machine. I'm here 30 hours a week, or more. You know, we're going to do like 16 today, so more than that a lot of the time. If you're enjoying my stuff, please consider doing like so many have done. Today we're celebrating hitting the absurd number of 2,000 subscriber points on stream. I'm here doing this full-time now as a job, and I'm able to do that because of the very generous support of all of my subscribers. Past subscribing to my stream, the best way you can support my content is by checking out some of my really awesome sponsors. Cardsphere.com would love to help you turn some of your cards into other cards directly to the players. There's no haggling. They just take 1% fee off the top. InkedGaming.com would love to help you customize your gaming experience using code Jeff12. You can save 12% on custom playmats, mouse pads, binders, and bags there. CoolStuffInc.com buys and sells a lot of cool stuff, including TCG singles. Using promo code Jeff5, you can save 5% on Magic, Pokemon, Yu-Gi-Oh, and Warhammer cards with them. And of course, this stream wouldn't be possible without viewers like Anaronix, Justin Nivik, and all of y'all out there. Thanks for hanging out today, folks. We're currently just crossed hour 9 here. We're playing this Zombie Loam deck, and we've got a bunch more wild things coming up later today. The Diabetical. Thank you for the brand new Twitch Prime support. And there's a lot of great people making a lot of great stuff on Twitch right now. Thanks for supporting mine this month with that. And Zeramos, thanks for re-upping for the 23rd month in a row. That's such a long time. Thanks for putting up with me, and welcome back again and again and again. What happened to the mattress advertising? So you see, unlike many people who fail to monetize themselves with sponsors on Twitch, I've got a lot of them. So we've got a couple of different shill break pages. I don't like to do too long of an ad break because then you kind of lose people and zone out. But two little mini blurts here and there are good and great. Seems a little medium. Needs a Faithless Looting, but then what degenerate graveyard deck doesn't? They also kept a medium hand, or they just skipped their first main phase? Why am I not eligible for the Magic Hall of Fame? I don't play and watch the events. To be eligible for the Magic Hall of Fame, you have to have played on a Pro Tour 10 years ago and then have a bunch of PT top 8s. I have never played in a Magic Pro Tour. Just not my cup of tea. I play Magic for fun and profit. And the Pro Tour to me is neither of those things. Yeah, BCW is actually new as of today. They actually wanted to start September 1st, and I was like, nah, we're doing a long stream on the 31st. You want to start on the 31st. Yeah, probably Moby. Durward's probably the other one that's closer more than me, right? Actually, so it was funny. Commonplace username. Just, you know, in the effort of starting stuff and being obnoxious. Last night I tweeted out, I'm finally going to try and qualify for the Magic Pro Tour. The plan is to get in on the ground floor, streaming Artifact, and eventually I'll get my invite from there. They didn't attack. I think they F6'd or accidentally auto-passed their first main phase. Looked like a moto bug there. Like, they looked like a moto mistake. They clicked through their first main phase without playing a land. So I bet they accidentally hit okay. Yeah, Durward claims streams close to the same amount of hours that I do. If not more. Yeah, I actually take days off on the weekends. I don't go 7 days a week. I'm generally 5 or 6, like White Seal said. We're gonna get run down. So our loss in the first match was to traditional burn. And this deck definitely kind of lacks the tools to be very super competitive against these more aggressive decks. I think probably need something like Collective Brutality to pick up points in these matches. Thanks, Lord. Yeah, I do my best, you know? I feel like if I'm going to do this as a full-time job, I should give it the responsibility that a job should have and try and do my best at it. Well, he doesn't quite do that anymore, boy toy. I know that the 1 year he did every day for a year straight, that he definitely streamed the weekend he was at the SCG event. But like when he went and played the one on the East Coast, I'm pretty sure he took a couple nights off, and like he was just off for Gen Con like I was. Nothing wrong with going to PPTQs. Playing Magic is sweet. Anytime you get a chance to play Magic, if you enjoy doing it, you should go out and do it. Actually, it's funny. We could actually just compare how many hours I have versus Caleb. There's this really awesome site that Twitch has an API because they're not afraid of data. You can click on Magic the Gathering, most watched. So Caleb has streamed 48 hours in the last week, and I've streamed 35 currently. So he does do more than me on average, it looks like. So 14 days, 72 versus 93, 30 days, 155 versus 172. So yeah, he probably does play more than I do. Who's afraid of data? Wizards of the Coast is terrified of data. I guess that's true. In terms of like volumes of games played, basically all of my on-screen time is playing Magic. As opposed to, I guess it's probably like less than 10% of my on-screen time is not playing Magic. There's some pushing decks around and stuff like that. That website's called Sullynome, I believe. Yeah, sullynome.com. You can pull up basically all major Twitch data on there. I mean, it isn't even that I strictly didn't want to compete against him. It's just like, you know, my kids, I stream while my kids can go to daycare, you know, 9 to 5 during the week. You know, Caleb's like nocturnal. He starts at like 7 o'clock and goes to like 2 or 3 a.m. That's the most glorious Salt, Sarah C. When they're like, didn't even play a real deck. You're like, yeah, shut up and sign the slip. Those are always my favorites. I had a lot of those playing garbage tier decks and opens over the years. Not even playing a real deck. Yeah, whatever, sign the slip. So we can't really beat much of anything here. We're like dead to bolts and all that jazz. We're going to 3. We're going to trade here. What's the ratio of you reaching out to sponsors and sponsors approaching me? It's probably about even at this point. I also like my non-gaming related sponsors like Lisa and Honey and like the men's clothing line that I had an advertising for a little while. Those are actually through an advertising agency that I've been working with. There's definitely a Brownscale matchup. It's definitely a Vengeful Pharaoh matchup. I don't think this is an Abrupt Decay matchup. A lot of their stuff probably has more than one toughness. The Gitu Lava Runners definitely do. Start to finish is probably a little slow. Yeah, no brutalities in the 75. I don't even know what I'd cut, honestly. It's just like there isn't a good trim. Maybe maybe they're better than the Lightning Axes. Maybe they're better than the Lightning Axes. Like, the Zombie Infestation kind of fills in for that discard outlet role, but I have also kind of felt like I've been lacking some discard outlets for these prized amalgams, so maybe I should make a point to fit some in. Nice, Volpert. Yeah, that deck is really sweet. Yeah, Amalgam is great. So, one of the reasons why I like this deck is, so far tonight, in the 3 matches we've played, we've assumed the controlling role, but against decks like Storm and Tron and decks that are trying to go over the top of us, Prized Amalgam paired with Bloodghast gives us a way to actually apply pressure. which is really important in Modern. You know, we talk about that pretty constantly on this stream, where you need a way to actually end the game, not just sit there and mope around and dirtle. Like, it's very easy to shove tons of cards that dirtle into a deck like this. Because, well, let's be honest, there are a ton of sweet cards that let you dirtle in Magic. So, I think I'm going to grab Stomping Ground with this, so this way if we end up finding a life from the Loam, we can... Oh, I can't get Stomping Ground with this. Awkward. I guess we have to get Blood Crypt. Alright, so we're going to grab a Blood Crypt here, because we need to cast this Faithless Looting. Worst case, absolute worst case, we could end up Ghost Courting ourselves, but hopefully we just rip a green source here at some point. It's just different Dredge. Definitely different Dredge. The zombie infestation aspect kind of lets you hit from a different axis. And then I'll probably cast... Oh, you know what? I kind of messed up here. I think I should have binned the Squee Goblin Naboob instead of the second Bloodghast, because I'm probably going to cast this other Faithless Looting next turn before I play my land drop, because if I hit, like, Prized Amalgam, I'd like to bring that into play, and I could have kind of gotten a free card by ditching the Naboob this turn. Thanks, man dog. I appreciate that. We've not played Amulet Titan, so a bunch of the big donors and some other new ones came along and took up my challenge of I'd play all the Cut the Line donations that came up, and we had like 6 decks get bumped to 100 points. So we had a lot of people pile on a lot of dollar dues, and I'm going to be doing more than 12 hours today for sure. Thanks, Chows. I'm going to take that as a compliment and just say thanks. Would I rather... I think I just want to get the Conflagrate in the bin here. Like, it's technically value to discard the Squee, but the Conflagrate being in the bin has value as well. Honestly, maybe I'm supposed to bin the Loam just so I can dredge it. I don't know, I kind of wouldn't mind drawing a spell next turn, so it's probably fine either way. And I already have 1 fetch land in my bin, so I'm going to get at least 2 cards back with this. See what they end up going through. It looks like they're playing a little bit more aggressive version of Wizards. So wouldn't be too surprised to see like a Storm Chaser Mage here, or like Cantrip and another Gitu. Tapped land pass. Deal. I mean, like Zombie Infestation would be a nice draw, but like just having Bloodghast as pressure is pretty reasonable here. It's gonna kill them in a number of turns, especially when it's backed up by a big blast from Conflagrate out of the bin. I don't know if everybody gets it, but they're offering 400 bits to watch an episode of Jack Ryan on Amazon. What is Jack Ryan? Is that like an Amazon original? Oh, I still got tea from earlier. Sweet. Gosh, gas would be so absurd if it could block. This is another, we were talking about like players being down on clock on Magic Online. This is the other reason players are always down on clock on Magic Online. I feel like we just like sit here while our opponents are doing nothing, like half disconnected so much. I don't know if our average opponent just has like an internet connection that's like being powered by a snail or something, but They're using the McDonald's Wi-Fi from across the street. The worst is like they always take long enough to be annoying, but they almost never take long enough to time out, which is just like the worst. Like losing to someone who has like 70 seconds on their clock or like a minute and a half or like 45 minutes, you're like, dang it! You dicked around for just short enough time that I can't punish you. Yeah, exactly. Like there's just like other real life stuff going on. When like people make mistakes, there's a lot of people like, oh, they're dumb, ha ha ha. It's like, no, they're probably just distracted, right? Like people ask me all the time, like, do I think streaming has made me a better Magic player? And honestly, just like the volume of things that are going on while I stream, I think that alone really helps me improve more than anything else. The best way I can describe playing Paper Magic after streaming as much as I do is that Paper Magic is very quiet in comparison. Like there's so fewer things going on around me while I'm streaming Paper Magic. Or while I'm playing Paper Magic than versus when I'm streaming, right? And I'm sure like you all get it too, right? Like I'm sure a non-zero amount of people out there that are watching right now, you're probably playing Magic Online or another video game while you're watching this, right? So like you're playing the game with other distractions on too. Bolt my Bloodghast. Deal. Resolves. I think I'd rather just flashback looting here than cast Stinkweed Imp. Left me ill prepared. You know what the worst part was? I went to a paper tournament at a place in Chicago. It was a team event. And there was like over 100 people there, and there was one toilet in the men's bathroom. I was just like, this is absurd. Why does my house have have two more toilets than a 100-person tournament? Like, that's absurd. What's my preferred terminal font? I don't actually know what this terminal uses. What does this use? This is whatever the default terminology uses. Terminus 20 bold is the one I've gotten used to in this terminal. Seismic Crift 007, thank you very much for the brand new Prime support. And there's a lot of great people making a lot of great stuff on Twitch right now. Thanks for supporting mine this month. The one advantage of being a woman in this game is no bathroom lines. Yep, I believe that. Well, this Conflagrate in our bin is looking absolutely delectable here. Happy 10 months, nearly got my sword. Turnanga, thank you for re-upping that Prime support. I appreciate that and welcome back. Learned a lot about Hollow One and built Blue-Red Tempo and Paper. Awesome. Yeah, those are both really fun decks. And they kind of scratch like most ends of the spectrum, right? Like Hollow One lets you do really busted things, and the Tempo deck lets you be really interactive and still feel good about it. My LGS doesn't have customer bathrooms, and we have to walk next door to Subway. Oh, lordy. Do you care about a computer with decent specifications? I mean, my battle station and the one before this were both like extremely reasonable systems. Like this is, what I'm streaming from here is like an i7 with 32 gigs of RAM and all the bells and whistles for the most part. So I'm gonna go ahead and play Blood Crypt here and crack a fetch. And then I'm gonna go ahead and get Basic Mountain, and then I'm gonna Loam back. Can I kill them this turn? Pretty close. Not quite, but pretty close. This Azizdel is like really kind of terrifying. No, I have to reboot Magic Online because Magic Online is a medium piece of software that hemorrhages memory like no other. The reason I have to reboot Magic Online is because it's a 32-bit application that leaks memory based on how many different card images you have flashed across your screen. The reason why Magic Online regularly crashes is because that's a feature of the software. Medium is generous, yep. I can't be too cruel. It lets me do my job, and it's like, it's functional, right? Like, it's not pretty, and it has its issues, but like, as far as like playing Magic on the computer goes, it's like pretty decent at that, right? Like, the rules engine is pretty reasonable. All right, so how many cards am I discarding here? I'm discarding 2 to kill this, and then how many extras do I want to get rid of? So these are free. The Brownscale can probably go, and then I probably don't mind ditching like 1, 2, 3 others, so I'm gonna do 4 to them. And like this here, it's funny. I thought this issue where I can't see what number I'm targeting them for, I was like, maybe this is just a wine issue and it's not Moto's fault. Nope, this happens on Windows too. It's just a Magic Online thing. Wine is such good software that it just has all the same bugs Magic Online has on Windows, on Unix. Let's just go ahead and do this. Yeah. I was like, maybe this is just an issue with Linux, and it's not actually Moto's fault. It's like, nope, yep, actually just Moto's fault. Got it. There was a stat out there somewhere, and I don't have a reference offhand, so this is just me going off the cuff, but I believe it said that Magic Online accounts for upwards of half of Magic's total revenue. Half of Magic's total revenue comes out of this client. What do I replace them with again? Noxious Revival and Silence, probably, Nivik. Probably Noxious Revival and Silence. One more piece of interaction, and then over where the Silence would be in the board, make sure you play an extra Abrupt Decay or something. Yeah, tell me something. What's up, dude?
I want to watch the show down.
No, you can't watch shows down here right now. Mom will set up the little computer upstairs for you if you want, though. Can you say hi to the internet?
I want to eat.
Can you say hi to the internet?
No, I want Bonnie bar.
Can you say hi?
Hi.
Hi. Look, you got your 3 shirt on? Because you're 3? What happened to your head?
I know.
You don't know?
It's got grass.
It's got a scratch? It does. I think we're out of brownie bars, dude. Do you want a birthday cake bar?
Yeah.
Okay, take it upstairs and Mom will open it for you, okay?
The mommy
Yep.
cake bar.
What did he want to watch? We can stream it in the corner. But ditching Imp have given you more dredges to find a thing. Yeah, maybe that's better. I don't actually know what I'm dredging this turn or not. I also like have a bunch of Faithless Lootings. His hair is really great. I think I'm actually just going to dredge the Brownscale here because it gains me 2 health. I just want to like not get burned out here while they're at 8. The birthday cake bars are pretty good. I think I like them worse than the cookie bars, but thanks for the bingo square. I got you. We get a Lingering Souls. That's good. Get to ditch my Naboobies for free. Maybe I should ditch the Brownscale, although I dredged into another one. Let's flash back this Lingering Souls. I should have waited to play that until I hit them for 4 here, because I could like bolt one of these. Then we should be a lock here at this point. I'm going to go close the door really quick, because you'll be able to hear him upstairs, because he's loud like his father. Declan's good at opening the door, but he doesn't close it behind himself. My Naboobies are wonderful. Look it, as a married man and a father of 2 children, nobody cares about my Naboobies. Nobody needs to care. And this game's just been like a good example of, someone commented earlier, we really needed Zombie Infestation. And like, this deck's, while Zombie Infestation is its primary engine and like what the deck is named after, the deck's pretty scrappy and it can win in a variety of ways. After that dad joke, how do I unsub? Chat, I look at I look at the Magic section on Twitch, and we're just surrounded by MTG Arena streams. It's just like us in here playing on our copy of Microsoft Office while everybody else is out there playing a video game. I don't think I want to change anything here. I think I'm pretty happy with how we boarded. I'm going to click submit. That seems okay. I got a Lightning Axe to kill their first play. And then we've got some Zombie Infestations. If we can find our way into a Loam here, we'll be in a pretty good spot. This channel is like the eve of Magic streams. Don't really like... Yeah, I'm just going to lead on Canyon Slough tapped here. Probably need to grab a green source off of this at some point, but like getting my tap London to play tapped is ideal. Yeah, Blackwell, we're celebrating. We hit the absurd crossover point of 2,000 subscriber points. I'd always kicked around the idea of trying to stream full time, and I always figured it would be like after the kids, like Declan started kindergarten, and like when the opportunity came up, I was like, this is awesome, and like we had 1,000 sub points, and I was like, this is neat. It's probably like what Magic streamers can have, and we're like, now I'm here, and it's just like, man, this is way more than I ever imagined. Okay, so at this point, I think I want to be conservative with my health total, especially here on the draw. And I'm just going to go ahead and Lightning Axe this while they don't have a counterspell up. This also lets me play the Bloodstained Mire this turn and fetch a Shockland tapped, which is nice. Helps me get my green source going. It does kind of punish us if they have third land plus their Wizard Lord. But outside of that, I think I'm pretty happy with the sequence. Does Arena have the Yu-Gi-Oh cards? It does not. It's only Magic the Gathering cards. Actually, the one thing that I thought was really strange when we streamed Arena doesn't have the new Magic card back yet. I like how you play and talk about Magic. I think your suggestions make everybody a better player, and that's a positive upgrade for people. Thanks for being here. Thanks, Spankstar. I'm glad you enjoy it. Thanks for dropping by. Isn't prowess kind of awkward with counterspells? It is. But some counterspells are just like good enough that they're going to play them, and I don't really gain a huge amount of upside by potentially playing into one there. I really just want to like make sure that my thing resolves, basically. And I have like 4 cards in my hand that I don't mind discarding here, so probably just going to bin all of them and like make 4 power. Then we can like flashback Lingering Souls next turn. Have 6 power. Maybe dredge the Brownscale, hopefully work our way towards a Loam. Or a Squee Goblin Nabob. Like Loam or Goblin Nabob at this point are both very reasonable. If they attack with the Soulscar Mage, the question becomes, do I want to make 2 zombies and double block? And I think the answer is no, because that... Well. Sure. I think we can actually race that, right? I think this is actually okay for us. Now if they attack with this, I'm going to make 4 zombies and double block. So like they need to have like Vapor Snag to blow out a double block here. This does mean I don't get to flashback Lingering Souls, which kind of sucks, but it's not the end of the world. Thanks, Iron. I like that I can watch Hoagland at work, too many streamers, play music in the background, and don't talk. And since most of them have terrible taste in music, yep. And I don't, like, I feel like streaming with music, I know some people derive some of their income from streaming with music, but, like, if you stream with music, you can't post to YouTube, but that's, like, also income. And, like, you chase people off who potentially don't like your music. We had a Faithless Looting here. That's awesome. Sign me up for that one. I'm going to go ahead and cast that and cycle through. Just like looking to churn through as many cards as possible here. Looking for Squee Goblin Naboobs. Or potentially even finding a Bloodghast so we can bring back these Amalgams. Vengeful Pharaoh is awesome. So at this point, I'm going to hold this Verdant Catacombs in my hand. Because if I dredge into a Bloodghast at some point, the Verdant Catacombs is going to allow me to not only grab the Bloodghast back, but also these copies of Prized Amalgam. Don't you make fun of my Naboob stray. Let's celebrate that there aren't any Narcomoebas in the 75. God bless Dougie. Thank you for the bits. I appreciate it. Wizard Lightning, my zombie. Deal. Yeah, just really looking for Bloodghast here. No Bloodghast yet. Sad day. We also bricked on drawing another Dredger, but I guess at this point I can just next turn after I draw a card, I can discard the Brownscale to Zombie Infestation. Is Squee a murder yet? Almost. My bit left the cup. We need those for zombies. Rip bits. That's bold. Their last card must be a removal spell if they're attacking into Zombie Infestation here. Cheers are an alternative way. Oh, we have Vengeful Pharaoh in the bin. They weren't paying attention. Modern staple Vengeful Pharaoh here. Says when we take damage from something, destroy that something and then flip Vengeful Pharaoh back on top of my deck. I think the blue-red tempo deck that I've worked on a lot is genuinely very powerful. All right, so now we get to bin Pharaoh plus Brownscale. And again, I just don't want to discard this land because if we eventually dredge into a Bloodghast with Brownscale, having the land is super valuable because we already have 2 Prized Amalgams in our bin. Where are my Bloodghast friends? Sure. So we're gonna Wizard Lightning this, and like, we're at a very healthy 23 thanks to this Brownscale, which is great. Does Pharaoh trigger multiple times when things hit you? I believe so. When combat damage is dealt to you or Planeswalker you control, if Vengeful Pharaoh is in your graveyard, destroy target attacking creature. Okay, so Vengeful Pharaoh targets, it only triggers once on damage, but the trigger gets to target an attacking creature. How much is this deck in the paper world? I actually don't know that number offhand. I don't think it has an intervening if. Oh, it does, yeah. If it's in your graveyard, then destroy it. Yep. All right, they knew about it that time. That shouldn't have been a surprise to them. It deals it to target attacking creature, right? To destroy target attacking creature, yep. And again, at their end of turn, we'll discard 2 cards, Brownscale and Vengeful Pharaoh. Then we'll dredge the Brownscale next turn. Just like keep slowly grinding up those health points. I think our enchantment. I think our enchantment's gonna beat their enchantment, chat. What do you think? Vengeful Pharaoh prison. And this set of games is actually just like a really great set of games for like showing kind of the different ways that this deck is capable of winning, I feel. Sweet, and we dredge into a Loam that turn, and while we can't cast Loam, what Loam is going to allow us to do is dredge multiple cards now, so we can kind of deeper looking for those Bloodghasts. Yeah, Brownscale is kind of like our hedge for these aggressive decks. It kind of lets us get through our churn and buffer our health total back up. This card's gained us like, what, like 10 life this game? Wait, if we hit a Bloodghast, the game's going to end very quickly. It's another Prized Amalgam. Deal. And we get to just like make another zombie at their end of turn and have 6, so that's potentially lethal. The Gitu Lava Runner on turn 11 that doesn't have an extra power. Oh, look, it's a modern staple. Jeff Hoagland, I need one of those for my deck, I think. What's going on, Niv? Thank you for the 4 months at the tier 3 sub level. I really appreciate that. Welcome, welcome, welcome back. I don't have a Looting to Flashback. Only had one of those so far. Sweet, we hit a Squee and a Bloodghast that turn, so that's really good for us. Oh, I hit a Bloodghast. Oh, I hit Bloodghast. It would have had haste, chat. I forgot it had haste. Not real. Thank you for the 2-month resub. Thanks for re-upping and welcome back. Thanks for keeping me employed for another month. The Ghast could have been lethal, but isn't here. It's fine. It's fine. It's gonna be okay. It's gonna be okay. Do 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 do. Into the Searing Blaze to finish it off. Okay, so they have no cards in hand. So that means this Bloodghast is just gonna destroy them here. This Bloodghast brings 3 of his closest friends back with him. So they should be at 2, yada yada yada. 5 is better at magic and paid more attention. Greater Steven with the Twitch Prime support. Thank you very much and welcome. I do appreciate that. This is 4-color Zombie Loam. If you like this deck and you want to see more of it, this is one of the many awesome decks that you can find on my website. Mock Blumpkin. Just watched your league with my Grixis deck from the other day. The Tron match was sweet. Keep up the quality content. Thank you for the 6 months of support. I really appreciate that. Thanks for the half a year and welcome back. We're 2-1 in this league now after taking a loss to Burn. I think traditional Burn's probably a pretty bad matchup for us. Sorry, going back to my website. So for those that aren't familiar, I have a deck list page on my website that I've worked very hard on. That is a great resource if you're looking for sweet modern decks. And I have them categorized by different power level decks that, you see in top 8s all the time. Decks that I think are sweet and potentially very strong. And then decks like this one that are definitely sweet, but maybe have some weaknesses against certain other decks. And then we have complete and total memes down here at the bottom. So lots of awesome decks you can find on my website. If you're looking for things that are sweet to play in Modern, you can find my preferred iterations of those deck lists on my website, as well as a playlist of me playing that deck all the times that I've played it here on stream. Gosh, this hand is so good with the green source. And, honestly, we could even just Ghost Quarter ourselves to find the green source in this hand so good. If this is a Celestial Colonnade deck, if they're able to counter our Zombie Infestation, our hand suddenly does very little. So hopefully that's not going to happen. Narset Cannon's a good time. Narset, if you're into a good time, Narset Cannon is definitely the deck for you. All right, YOLO. Don't do it. Don't be a big meanie and counter my spell. No, stop it. Don't be mean. Think of the children. Won't somebody please think of the children? No. Oh no, we're getting logic knotted, chat. Suddenly my hand is very sad. Sad panda. Blood Moon looked great there against our greedy 4-color mana. If WotC wants to punish greedy mana bases, they should just give Bird Price of Progress. Yep. Can I get Horizon Cannon into the queue? Yeah, that's probably a fine deck to add. Yeah, we've got, we're gonna be, I haven't plugged that enough. It's in the stream title. Basically, just go enter your information here in the Google form, and then later this weekend, Christy and I are gonna pick some winners to ship some free goodies out to. You don't update the blog section of your website very often. Yeah, the blog section on my website is there with the express purpose of when I have something useful or interesting to say, I say it, and if I don't write anything there. It's not like I don't get paid to put stuff on my own website. It's basically used for stream updates and notifications and stuff like that. Thing in the Ice does seem particularly good against us. Firm agree there. Do I want to make more things here? The Thing in the Ice is really good against us. I don't really want to dredge this turn. I think I'm just going to take a draw step. Do I want to play this Loam into a potential blowout? I think so. So even if they have a counterspell for the Loam, I just need to like draw any other land to be able to cast it again. What's going on, Maddie? Grixis Delver got pushed out, Matt. Too many people sent me too much money and we have to play other things now. Do you think you'll keep running Soulscar Mage or switch it up? I think the next time we go back to playing Tempo, we're going to try like 2 Soulscar Mages. I think there's a chance that 4 was too many, but 2's probably okay. We'll try some combinations in the middle. So if they flip this thing next turn, they can like get us for 7. But then like they're not even really doing that much, right? Because like they're gonna send the Bloodghast back to our hand, which we then discard the zombie loan to like make another zombie. If I win something from the drawing, would you be willing to ship it to Japan? Yeah, the Cool Stuff Inc. gift codes are good for international. Cool Stuff Inc. ships all over the world. And the signed playmats I'm going to be shipping international. The BCW and the Ink Gaming stuff, those folks are shipping out for me, so those unfortunately will not be international prices. Am I dredging Loam here at this point? I think I am, right? You are an extension of me, wife. We are one person. The drawing's gonna happen later this weekend off stream. I don't want to like do a drawing in the middle of the stream and like make people be here. This way people can just like have the time during the stream to enter. I'll text your wife. She's bored. God bless you, Matthew. Christy eats as poorly as I do, but she also eats meat, so she's not a garbagetarian like I am. We hit another Squee Goblin Nabob here. Honestly, this type of matchup with having the Zombie Infestation in play, we're probably just going to grind them into the dirt. Hey, Dark Rain, thank you for the 2-month free subscription. Thanks for re-upping and welcome back. I appreciate the support. Listen, contrary to what some people in certain elective offices in America would have you believe, women are not property. They're their own individual beings. So, I probably want to ditch Squee and Stinkweed Imp here, and I want to dredge the Stinkweed Imp to try and give myself the most chances to find more lands to put in the bin. Yeah, of course we have a Hoogle Wife icon. It's one of the first ones we had. We do just block this thing on the ice forever, ever. Forever, ever? Hey, hey, do. I'd love to dredge you. And sweet, we found a bunch of lands and another Squee. God bless. All right. I did not, JMM. I've been live all day here. You're snap remanding me? Rude. Rude. This is the same game where we had to GQ our only land. Yeah, subscribers are still subscribed. It doesn't ungive me their money. All right, we got plenty of things to go around here. I'm probably gonna ditch. I think I'm gonna make 4 zombies here. Niv with the $5 donation. Thank you very much for the support. I think I want to use my tier 3 sub to put impact tremors back in the queue. If this is acceptable, maybe put this for good measure. I don't think I want to play the impact tremors deck again, Niv. The last couple times we played it, it's just been like excessively medium. I was thinking about putting it on my website after we played it last time, but the run was just so bad that the deck's just like not good. No, I've been streaming for the last 10 hours. I've been here. We have 3 goblin naboobies. These are my goblin naboobies. There are many like them, but these ones are mine. I don't know, maybe they could like hit a string of cryptic commands here and get through, but like I'm gonna have enough cards in my hand that that's probably not even feasible for them, right? When do I plan to quit this evening? I don't know, like another 5 or 6 hours? Long stream day, long stream. I think it might be against the TOS to show my naboobies on stream, so shh, don't tell the Twitch police. Don't tell the Twitch police, chat. I guess if they could like cryptic bounce the zombie infestation and then like counter it on the way back down, they could potentially be okay, but like as long as this infestation hangs around, they're like super dead. Oh no, chat, they heard me. Oh no, they heard my secret. Nah, I think it's pretty likely they have a counterspell. I want to save the conflag for like when I like absolutely have to. And they're at 2 here, so like they're basically on the cryptic every turn or die plan. So like next turn they're gonna have to like cryptic tap my team to not die, and then I just like play the infestation post combat, right? I think they're like too far gone at this point. They need like a main deck Anger of the Gods or something at this rate. Oh, look at that, chat. A 4th Nabooby has appeared. Of course I want 9 Naboobies. Why would you even ask that? Why would you even ask that, Twitch chat? Why do you hate my Naboobies? My wife wants to know what a Nabooby is, chat. Should I tell her? Is it disgusting to show my Naboobies to my wife? Tap them and draw a card. Yep.
Can I ask you a question, please?
BCW, new sponsor. Check them out. They're wonderful. We could get spell snared here. I'm gonna go ahead and cast my Loam to start. Like, see how this goes. Sweet, they're auto-passing. I typed out and deleted an inappropriate message about Naboobies, and I feel bad about it even though I didn't actually submit it. I think I need a timeout. I got you, Rich. Tell her about one pair and keep the other pair a secret for Twitch chat. Alright, this is definitely a Raven's Cry matchup. Is this a Lightning Axe matchup? It's probably an Abrupt Decay matchup. Is BCW sponsoring Jeff? Does that mean I can get my dream match with him playing against Jim Davis? I mean, Jim and I played in Indy, and I 2-0'd him, right? Yeah, I definitely 2-0'd Jim in Indy. He was playing humans. And Jim's a good dude. We both top 8 of that tournament. But is there an alliance you're enjoying more than others? I've basically just been playing Order Hippie Pancakes. I picked up a bunch of like rares and most of the commons and uncommons from that order, from that faction. I'm like just building decks with Order until I can get my head wrapped around it. Charm versus Anger is interesting. They're probably boarding in Anger, right? This is likely a matchup where Stinkweed Imp is not particularly good. I could probably board that out. Lingering Souls probably leaves a little bit to be desired. I guess I probably don't want these either if I bring in these cheaper ways to kill stuff. Do I want this Golgari Charm? The new fantasy-based Warhammer card game is really good. And the digital physical integration is A+. I don't think Pharaoh is good enough. Like, we'd have to be able to take a hit from 7 for Pharaoh to be good, and I think we're going to die most of the time when that happens. I think I'm going to just trim a Bloodghast here. Like, if we have a Prized Amalgam, if we have Bloodghast going, we probably don't need Amalgam on top of it most of the time. Actually, you know what? Conflagrate's the cut. This is a matchup where they don't have little things to kill with Conflagrate. We probably only want, like, 1 at the very end of the game to finish things up. This hand is really good with a second land, so I'm going to keep it on the draw and hope for the best. Serious question. When do you plan to stream and explain Age of Sigmar? Also, my bits toward Shadowburn. Probably at some point in the future, Big Mama. I might just make an intro video for my YouTube page. I might just make a YouTube video for my intro video for my YouTube page. Just like not live stream it. Where did I buy? Actually, Cool Stuff Inc. has pretty much all of the singles in stock for Champions Hippie Pancake if you want to buy singles. I bought all of my stuff through there, the singles that I picked up. Use that sweet Jeff5 discount code to self-shill for a moment. I'm going to get a basic forest here in case they Blood Moon. What game am I talking about? It's called Warhammer Age of Sigmar Champions. Honestly, I wouldn't be too surprised if they brought in Negate. This is like our key cards, so like being able to stop this from happening is really good. They could also just be like getting remanded here. Yeah, their digital client is currently in closed beta, and it's supposed to be in open beta early next month. So within the next week or two. I've been playing it. They're working on a mobile client first, which is great because like Magic pretty much dominates my PC time. So like being able to like play a digital game on my tablet is A+. Yeah. And the way the game is designed really takes advantage of the little screen, which is nice. Like, people talk about, like, wanting Magic on, like, their tablet or their cell phone, and I often want to respond to them, like, have you played Magic before? Like, Magic on my cell phone does not sound particularly appealing. Well, this turn is about to be very good for us. I mean, a touchscreen is just a mouse, so like being compatible with a touchscreen is kind of a silly concept in my mind. Like a mouse is just like a mouse and a touchscreen are just like ways to accept input. Imagine trying to play Gristlebrand on mobile. Yep. Yeah, it is Moosey Juicy. I don't know if I have a good grasp on how long the average game is. I've definitely had some shorter games, but there's also longer ones as well. And they're putting some organized play stuff together that's gonna have best of 3 matches. Yeah, and like this is a very like Dredge-like draw, right? Like we just have 12 power out on turn 3. So like, how do you fit big dumb icons into this application? Like, how do you have lands in play that are big dumb icons? Like, again, just like, you know, think about it a little bit. And being optimized for touchscreen, maybe that's what you meant by touchscreen compatible, but to me, in my mind, those two things are different. And I'm just gonna go ahead and pass here. Like, no reason to do anything else. We got them under pressure. Bum 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 butter dum bum. Bum 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 butter dum bum. And the fact that they played out Grim Lavamancer here seems to signify to me that they probably don't have... any... Wait, they played Engineered Explosives on 2? That seems like it bodes well for me. So I'm gonna go ahead and make a zombie here an end step. Exile this Raven's Crime. Get my Naboob back next turn. Playing Eldrazi and Tax. I will not be. I'm really not a fan of Leon and Arbiter decks. They're generally not decks that I accept as donation decks because of that. And now if they want to be able to crack Relic, they're not going to be able to. Or crack Engineer Explosives, they're not going to be able to do anything else. So they can go block, block, and then they kill this, and they're going to 2 here. And they're going to lose their thing. I don't like the Taxes decks because generally speaking, they're a collection of underpowered Magic the Gathering cards that tend to rely on weak synergies together. So we have to blow up Engineered Explosives here. I mean, like, what would you have done differently other than, like, play the Engineered Explosives? Like, you're judging my opponent with, like, really incomplete information. Like, you have no idea if they actually have better plays available to them or not. Like, our draw has just been very good this game, to say the least. So, I guess they have Relic to clear this out. EN 0. I mean, not strictly. Like, they don't have a way to deal with the zombie infestation long term. Yeah, EN 0 doesn't solve the problem. Like, I'm dancing around their graveyard hate. Maybe I should fetch Basic Swamp and flashback this Lingering Souls here, because they're probably going to crack this, right? They just, like, need anger at this point. Yeah, I should have flashback Lingering Souls here. I was thinking maybe I kind of play around anger, but with the Relic, that's actually just not true. And I'm going to grab a... I'm going to grab a second Blood Crypt here. Because this way I can flashback... what's it called? Conflagrate and also play a hasty Bloodghast. Honestly, they probably boarded the Blood Moons out if they have them. I think sweepers out of the blue-red tempo deck are not good. That's why I don't play them. I think I would much rather play cards like Is It Staticaster? If you absolutely wanted to play a sweeper, you could maybe play Rough Tumble, because it's okay alongside Soulscar Mage, but in general, I think you need sweepers to deal 3 damage. And a lot of the best sweepers in Modern are red-red, and the deck has a hard time consistently hitting red-red early. What was our loss to? Traditional Burn is a very hard matchup for this archetype. We could potentially make that better by adding a bunch of copies of Collective Brutality, but I think we'd have to give up, like, the Lightning Axes, but maybe that's a worthwhile swap. We are currently 3-1 in this league. We beat Blue-Red Thing in the Ice, we beat a Blue-Red Prowess deck, and we beat Black-White Eldrazi in Texas. Yeah, Brutality could be better than Axe. There's definitely, like, less Eldrazi and less Tarmogoyf in the format. Like, more small creatures. Like, that card's very good against things like Burn. It also has, like, play to it in the combo matchups that can be harder sometimes. I think it's pretty okay. If we draw a Bloodghast, it's just, like, very good. Because we get to go ahead and put Prized Amalgam into play. Like, if we get a Bloodghast here, we're going to have so much. We're going to have 5 power on turn 2. So do I want to... I think I want to just ditch Amalgam plus Lingering Souls here, and then just, like, Flashback Souls on 2, potentially. We'll see what they're doing. They could be, like, Storm and, like, play a Storm creature, and we need to Lightning Axe it. Ramanap Runes. So something aggressive. Probably another place where we're going to wish we had access to, what's it called? Wish we had access to the thing. Another thing in the ice deck. Okay, interesting. Probably just axe this turn. Then fetch a tap land. Ooh, sweet. So we will Ravens Crime them. And this is important sequencing. You want to Ravens Crime your opponent before you Lightning Axe here, because giving them the information that their thing in the ice is going to die could impact what they discard. So, like, they're making this discard, assuming that they have a thing in the ice in the play, potentially. Whereas now, they don't, so, like, they've made this decision with Raven's Crime while having less information available to them, which could potentially give us an advantage. They discarded a Thermo Alchemist, so some kind of burn deck. Probably not a Prowess deck, though. 1 damage to each opponent. I was like, does this ping creatures? It does not. It's good for us. I probably... Oh, that's kind of sweet. Huh.
Daddy, I need you.
You need me? What's up?
I need you. Come get me a birthday cake bar.
You need another birthday cake bar?
Yeah.
Okay, there's a birthday cake bar. You're welcome.
Birthday cake bar.
He doesn't need me, chat. He needs my snacks. Anybody who's a parent understands. We are just a snack receptacle. I am a medium through which he acquires snacks. What's a birthday cake bar? It's a birthday cake flavored protein bar. Like high protein candy, basically. And again, I'm going to close the door because you'll be able to hear him upstairs if I don't, because he's loud. Is this just a standard deck? No, they have Serum Visions. It's a modern legal card. 3 and 5-year-olds. Yours are real close to mine, Pat. Jake's 4.5 and Declan's 3. It was funny. So, Christy and I talked about this in the stream. Christy and I are thinking about moving in the fall. Or in the spring, sorry. It's almost the fall now. And, when we move, we're definitely gonna make sure there's like sound deadening in the new house, and people are like, "Oh, you want sound deadening so you don't have to carry the kids while you work." And I was like, "No, they want sound deadening so they don't have to hear me while I work." So I think I'm just gonna go ahead and flashback finish here. Just take their Thermal Alchemist off the table. This card represents a lot of damage over the next few turns, potentially. And for people that think start finish looks a little bit awkward, it definitely is a little bit awkward in a situation like this where we drew it. But the idea behind start finish is that we generally have extra bodies lying around, and this is a removal spell that we can dredge into. Think twice. Okay. That's sweet. It like does 2 damage with this. I never said I wasn't loud. I said I'm not yelling. There is a difference. You can be loud and not be yelling. can confirm I am very loud, but if I yell, I get louder. All about intent, loud versus yelling. No, I don't think that's true. It's definitely yelling or shouting is kind of the way in which you project yourself. Like, I've been here, you know, performing, streaming, whatever you want to call it, being loud for the last 10 hours. If I was yelling or shouting for the last 10 hours, I would be very hoarse at this point. But I'm not hoarse because I am just projecting my voice in a loud manner. I'm not shouting. And that may sound trivial, but there's a very functional difference, especially with the way it impacts your body. Holy crap, we're gonna die to a gutter snipe. Are we about to die to a gutter snipe, chat? Alright, well, let's just do this. Unfortunately, we don't have a Loam yet to, like, get card advantage going with this, but, we definitely don't want to leave the gutter snipe on the table. That one's gonna hurt. This actually cuts us off of green mana though, right? Because like my plan for green was to like ghost quarter myself at some point. So hopefully these tokens can get there, but we're kind of running on E at this point. If they like find their way into another thing in the ice and like can trip through to flip it, we're gonna be in a lot of trouble. Yeah, exactly. You project from your diaphragm. You like shout from your vocal cords. I guess that's the science way. Raven's Crime. Well, Raven's Crime requires me to have land. So again, like without the Loam engine going, a lot of our card advantage kind of leaves a little bit to be desired. All right. Well, that's a potential green source for us. I'm going to go ahead and play Zombie Infestation here. Oh, you know what? This was a mistake. I should have started by flashing back Faithless Looting here. Because if I flash back Faithless Looting and hit a Bloodghast, I could have put Bloodghast into play along with its friend Prized Amalgam here. And then cast the Zombie Infestation afterwards still. I want to know before I submit a cut the line. I think we might be at the limit of cut the lines I can do today physically, Velik. I think I can only go till about 2 or 3 a.m. or so because MTGO Trader stops delivering cards at that point. And I still have 1, 2, 3. I have 5 more decks to do after this, and that's 7 hours from now. So I'm not sure I'm going to like physically be able to fit that many decks in that short of time. Because every deck in the title right now, those last 3 plus Tribal Zoo and Dice Factory are still have cut the line donations that are waiting to be played. Flashback Faithless Looting. Alright, that's a Canyon Slough. I guess I get to cycle that next turn. I mean, Amulet Titan will still get played. Remember, when decks get cut in front of with large donations, they still remain in the queue. And there's the reason I give decks in the queue a point every day is so they won't be jumped past forever if there are a lot of people cutting. Eventually, they've been in there long enough they're just too expensive to cut past. Chat gold, donate to keep Amulet from being played ever again. Look, my bank account would not complain about that goal. Sometimes, what was that, blue-white turns? We had, like, it was, like, bumped out of being played, like, every day for, like, 4 or 5 days. There were so many cuts. Going on, Quota? I'm doing really swell. Today we're doing an extra long stream to celebrate, hitting an awesome threshold on Twitch. I rolled past 2,000 subscriber points this week. Just kind of unreal. I think we're dying to gutter snipe, chat. I believe we have lost to modern staple gutter snipe. Let's move along here. Maybe have a little bit more aggressive start in the next game. So you get to bring in these Abrupt Decays and this Lightning. Raven's Crime, probably not good enough. Start finish is a little clunky. These Conflagrates are probably a little bit expensive, honestly. This only deals with attacking creatures. Definitely want these Brownscales in my deck. Get in here. Stinkweed Imp probably doesn't block in a meaningful way, so just trade those out. This seems great. Let's do it. This has been a long league. This deck grinds. I've been going in this league for over 2 hours. Which is, you know, we have theoretically 5 leagues before 2 a.m., so hopefully some of those will be about 90-minute leagues or so. Not all of the decks grind. Like the Tribal Zoo deck will probably be barely an hour, even if it plays all 5 matches. Yeah, that seems great, right? Just like really aggressive. What is this beautiful match we're playing? This is Zombie Loam. We are currently 3-1, though we're down a game in this 5th match here. This is one of the many decks that's on the deck list page on my website. You can find lots more leagues on there. Does one $5 sub equate? No. So one $5 sub equates to 1 sub point, Pimped Up Monk. The bigger subs, tier 2 subs, count as 2 sub points, and tier 3 subs count as 6 sub points. Get that Brownscale value going early here. I can finally watch a live one to show you my devotion. Arc Memes, thank you for the 2-month resub. Thanks for re-upping and welcome. Yeah, the other thing that's good about doing these long streams and occasionally I get to catch a bunch of people that don't get my normal daytime schedule. For a while, I was really bad there. I didn't get to do any evening streams. I think my goal moving forward is going to be to try and do at least one evening stream a week. This is awesome. We actually dredged into a Prized Amalgam here, so we're going to just put 5 power into play on turn 2, and like these Zombie Infestations are going to make even more power than that, right? This was loose on my part. I definitely made a small mistake here. I should have let the first Bloodghast trigger resolve before fetching. I was sloppy there. Because if my opponent had surgical extraction, I actually gave them the opportunity to surgically extract my Bloodghast when I didn't have to. So that was me playing quickly and being a little bit sloppy because of it. I'm worth 4 sub points a month. Finally, some validation. What's going on, DMS? 4 sub points. Do you have 2 tier 2 subs? How do you get to 4? Yeah, and it's little details like that, Fallsburg, that like in a lot of games ultimately don't matter, but when you're able to pick up all those little percentage points across all of your games, those are the little things that, like, you know, turn a 55% player into a 60 or 65% player if you can catch them in real time. Turn 2 Zombie Infestation is very, very good in this deck. Firecorn, thank you for the 3-month resub. Thanks for keeping me employed for another month. Oh, gifted subs. That makes sense. Gifted subs. I think on the draw, I'm going to grab a Maelstrom Pulse. Just like have more removal to kill their things and stuff. Yeah, tier 3 subs give me a bonus 6 points. So I have over 2,000 sub points, but for instance, I have 1,800 unique subscribers. Yep, that sounds sweet. It doesn't have a Loam with the Zombie Infestation, but it's got a Nabubi, so let's do it. How much money does it take for you to build a deck around a combo? Usually I look for a $50 donation to build a deck around a specific card or set of cards. Usually I take, I don't know, an hour or more to like accurately comb through and find cards that I want to play. So I think I actually am just going to shock in this Stomping Ground on one, because I would like to hold up Lightning Axe here, because, like, they have Thing in the Ice and Thermo Alchemist, which are both, like, 2 drops that they want to put into play on 2 right away. $50 for me to make a Heartless summoning deck. Yeah, I'd do that. No promises that it'll be playable, because I can't make any card playable. Some cards are just not good. But I will do my best. So, I want the Bloodstained Mire to fetch basic Swamp, I think, just like in case they potentially have Blood Moon in their deck post-board. Just like play around just the best of my ability. There's a chance that they're holding up a counterspell here, but I think I definitely just want to jam. Like, we're definitely here for the Space Jam. How much for a deck around Collected Company and Leonin Arbiter? $100. For $100, I'll do most non-lantern things. Their hand must be really mediocre. Just like not doing a whole lot, just like spinning their tires here on 2. No threats. Wonder if they have a Gutter Snipe. We have ways to clean that out, thankfully. So probably ditch Squee plus a Mountain here, basically turning Mountain into a 2/2. For $100, will I play Vintage? Yeah, probably. There are a lot of people that like playing really slow grindy decks in Modern, and Zombie Infestation just like dumpsters those decks. Also, Zombie Infestation isn't always slow. This deck also has cards like Bloodghast and Prized Amalgam. Like, we had a game earlier tonight where we had 12 power on turn 2. Like, this deck puts a lot of power into play really quickly sometimes. So I'm going to go ahead and play out this Blood Crypt here, but I'm probably going to end up holding this Overgrown Tomb in my hand as a way to trigger Bloodghast should we find our way into one of those. Battle of Wits makes Magic Online really unhappy, so I prefer not to play it. Makes it run. Good Battle of Wits decks have a lot of tutor effects in them, and Magic Online sometimes struggles to open a 50-card deck, much less a, 800-card deck. Oh, Squee, you got a friend in me. Do-do-do-do. Do-do-do-do-do. Do-do-do-do. Be-do-do. Do-do-do-do. Do-do-do. Thanks for explaining what the term Xerox means, because it's the name of some vintage decks, and I assumed it was a general vintage pompousness because nobody else explained it. And I don't think I want to ditch these lands to get another zombie here, just because they're more valuable because they like combined with Squee. Murderous Cut's a pretty good pickup here. It means like their creatures are their best sources of damage output, so we're just gonna like slowly erase them here. 30 seconds per card pick to pick each cards. Yep. Yeah, I'm like, to build what I would consider a good Battle of Wits deck in Modern, it would involve like Gifts Ungiven and Bring to Light and like most other tutors that exist. Make a deck around Mapamonte. You gotta ask Maddie his own price. He's his own person too. I don't set his prices. Really just like looking for a dredge card at this point. Any way to just start getting to churn through more of our deck would be ideal. Or a Bloodghast. Bloodghast would also let us like pick this Prized Amalgam back up and like have a lot of power in play. Message me in private if you've got something really weird, and I will confirm off stream afterwards. Good. God bless Squee. He's a hardworking goblin. He turns a land into a zombie every single turn. Always great germ. Electrolyze. Look at the value. Kill my zombie, draw a card. When our deck's like not really doing its thing, where we're missing the other parts of our engine, it definitely looks kind of medium, but their deck's also not doing a whole lot, so we've had disruption. Like, the reason why we haven't had engine piece is because we've drawn like Murderous Cut and Lightning Axe and Abrupt Decay. Faithless Looting in Cheerios. That's interesting, because you can cast it off the Spirit Guides. Huh. It actually seems okay. Just gonna just keep making zomboys and girls, chat. As soon as we find something to like actually start generating us card advantage, like God forbid we hit a Loam, we're just gonna bury them. And in the meantime, in between time, just hanging out, making a zombie attacking for 4. You got him. Every burst lightning that hits a zombie is one less to hit our face. I'm just gonna go ahead and kill this. It's like effectively a removal spell. And it like makes our lingering souls worse if we ever draw one. Yeah. Every card we draw is basically a 0 mana 2/2 because of Squee. The Squee just keeps coming back. Even just like a what's it called? I'm blanking on the name. The Golgari Brownscale would be reasonable at this point, because it would like let us churn through more of our deck faster, dredging it every turn. Just like waiting on a Bloodghast. Bloodghast is 5 power if we draw it, which would just be like really good on this board. That's awesome. How did Walkers end up? We 4-1'd with Walkers, I think. That was like 8 hours ago at this point. Velix says 4-1. I believe that. I feel like 4-1 is accurate. Second Nabooby here is great, because second Nabooby means we actually effectively start drawing a card every turn now, because we don't have to discard our card drawn to make a zombie. And they finally turn more, and like they're like at 7 and have 3 cards left. And like the Zombie Infestation is just like, don't mind me. I'm just over here trucking along. Trucking along. Sprinting towards the finish line. I'm like, they've only drawn 5 lands and 20 cards, so eventually they're going to start flooding here. God bless these hard-working Naboobies, chat. Nobody works half as hard as my Naboobies. Yeah, buddy. Bloodghast. This is a speedy gas too. He's bringing a friend with him. This deck probably has a really hard time against Tron. Yes, it does. We have a couple of Ghost Quarters, but yeah, we don't... Well, I guess it depends. Our draws like this are really mopey against Tron, but sometimes we have Ghost Quarter draws with Loam, and sometimes we have really fast Gassed Amalgam draws. So I wouldn't be surprised if we're a dog on average, but we definitely have some tools there. Definitely have some tools there that are reasonable. And like, even if there's something like Anger of the Gods here, right? Like they clear a board, we're just like, alright, pick my Squee back up. Just start reassembling my tutus. Why is your Magic streamer talking about boobies? You gotta show her, you gotta bring her in here, Pyro, and just like show her how beautiful our boobies are. Great, show me life from the Loam. Ayo! That's what I'm talking about. Do 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 do. And like they sat here and treaded water for a while, but now now it's time for them to drown. Now it's time for them to drown in the zombie infestation. Got that sweet 4-1 here. Yep, dead on board. Think once. There's a thing in the ice.
I told them I was bringing this to Daddy, and Jake said, "I'll come with you, Mommy."
Sorry, Christy and Jake came in for a moment, and normally I don't mind because they weren't being too loud, but Jake's phone was playing music that he was watching a show on, and I don't want to get copyright. I want to get a copyright thing. What's the leader? We're currently 3-1, and this is game 3 of the last match. All right, I mean, if they drew another piece of removal here, they could potentially not die this turn. Do you have a Doomblade? They've had a lot of Doomblades this game. Alright, that's another Doomblade. Maybe it's another Doomblade. Is this a maybe blade? This is a we're not sure. This could go either way. Just running it off the top here. Hail Mary. Like the Manamorphose into the opt into the Doomblade. Second Manamorphose. Are you just gonna like flip the thing off of chaining 4 Manamorphose? That's what this is. It's like make blue, cast opt, flip my thing in the ice. Oh man. Are they doing it? Are they doing it? I actually want them to flip it over so I can like flash back my Lingering Souls and not worry about it. Alright, so are you dead or is this thing flipping over and then you're dead next turn? Dealer's choice. Dead now. God bless. Alright, hit the 4-1. We've had a lot of sweet 4-1s today. A lot of awesome decks as always. Hit another 4-1 there. Yeah, so I'll have to put some thought into maybe updating the page just on my website a little bit. It's possible that like 3 Ancient Grudges is overkill at this point as well. I think the big change that's potential to be made here is that Collective Brutality is probably a card this deck should be playing. Our one loss in that league was to burn, and we just like don't really have great tools for that matchup. Golgari Brownscale alongside Collective Brutality likely gives us a lot of reasonable maneuvering there. Like maybe like trim the Darkblast and the Lightning Axe and like the Darkblast and Lightning Axe here and fit 4 of them in. But yeah, it's deck really sweet. If you kind of like Dredge and you want like a different axes of attack with it that's a little bit more controlling, sometimes you still have really aggressive draws in the back of like Bloodghast, Prized Amalgam, Zombie Infestation, but a lot of your games come down to a little bit of a grind on the back of like Conflagrate and Lingering Souls. Is it likely we'll see the return of 4-color Geist with Bolas Dragon in place? We've actually played the 4-color Geist deck a couple of times for Vente, including once with Nico Bolas. So I added that deck to my website as well, and you can find a page on it with all the leagues. Yeah, I find it more fun than Dredge 2, personally. And again, this deck also has a page on my website, so if you can check that out on the deck